All right, guys. Um, Good to see everybody. I'll let you guys start off.
Good way to start a season. A lot of points. Good defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm more focused on the effort and energy. I thought, for the most part, we hit that standard today, and that's something we really want to establish. But as our guys know, it's the first chapter in a long book. So, you don't get awards for how you play in your first game, and I think we have a mature group that understands that, and I think we're looking forward to the next game and seeing what we can do.
How much did it help having Pella out there today?
Oh, Pella's a great player. I mean, his experience in our system is so valuable, and he plays so hard and so smart. I just think having him out there, the more and more we get him out there with those other guys, kind of in this crucial early part of the season, we're going to get you get real reps. And when you get real reps, you can really dig in and learn things from them. A lot of positive things you can learn from those reps, and sometimes negative. So I love having him out there because it makes our team whole. And he's just a heck of a ball player, and I'm honored to coach him.
Was he on a pitch count or anything minutes wise?
Pitch count minute wise, we just combined two sports there. Okay. Listen, the objective was to win the basketball game, and I don't know if we really had a pitch count or anything specific on them.
How important is it to keep your foot on the gas in a game like this? You get up early at halftime, and
well, I mean, you're trying to establish a standard, and you have a lot of guys who've never worn the Arizona uniform in a real game, so we really want to hammer home what our standards are. And I think for the most part, our guys, check those boxes. I'm looking for effort, I'm looking for intelligence, and I'm looking for unselfishness. And for the most part, I think we had a lot of plays that exemplified that today.
Only 7 turnovers, an emphasis that the players said of trying to be more focused and more careful with the ball. Were you satisfied with that part?
Yeah, 7 turnovers is a tremendous number, in a high possession game. And, I think the offensive rebounding was something else we really emphasized. So, if you can, control turnovers and create second opportunities on the offensive glass, that's a pretty, dynamic, combination that's going to allow you to be really efficient on offense. So I was proud of our guys. The message was heard. Last, I think, exhibition game where we had 20-some. And that's obviously not good enough. So, but that's why you play those exhibition games. You're not looking for perfection. You're looking for opportunities to learn. And so I think I was proud of our guys for learning that lesson.
it feels like this backcourt is much more aggressive in trying to get to the basket than maybe last year's was. Is that something you looked at when you brought in guys like Caleb and Jalen?
Yeah, we having guards that can make layups is a huge advantage, and I'm not saying that lightly or making a joke because it's really hard to do in high level basketball. To have guards that can finish 2-point shots at the rim is really, it's kind of rare. So to have a few guys that have that ability, and we still got to get better. I think we missed a couple layups for those guys today. It's something we work on the daily, I think it's going to be a real added weapon, to our arsenal that'll, show over the course of the season.
Umar's race to the basket there too.
That was good. I thought he gathered himself, and collected himself. Whenever you see a big guy out in transition like that, sometimes you take a breath just because they're putting their body in a position it doesn't get into very often. And I even mentioned that to Phillip when he tried that over the top pass to Krivas. It's just those guys just don't get those repetitions like other guys do. So you kind of take a little bit of a deep breath and hope for the best. So I'm glad both of those turned out okay for us.
Tommy, you were able to play a lot of guys tonight, but Friday, do you already have a sense of your rotation now that you could probably have to cut it down?
We're going to talk. We'll talk about it as a staff. And we'll do what we feel gives us the best chance to win that game. But I wouldn't use it as an indicator, for final decisions being made. For me, we have 6 starters, and I'm comfortable. You could probably give me 4 combinations, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm good with that. And so we kind of settled in on one tonight, and we'll see what we do moving forward. Some of those other guys off the bench that are kind of, earning their opportunities and learning their way in our program are really good players, and I don't want to sell them short.
Times too where you had Pella, I think KJ maybe even guarding the 4 out there. Do you expect to go with that kind of a little bit smaller lineup a lot, or will it depend on the matchups? Or?
Well, with Henry's injury, it's kind of tilted things in that direction. But it's a style that we've been really comfortable playing. We've done it the last 2 years. It just people forget about it, and we've probably done it a lot more than people realize. So it's something we're really comfortable doing, and we kind of have our plan when we do it, and I think our guys, we kind of installed it, maybe a week or two ago, so it's kind of fresh. So we're still learning, but I think it's got a lot of potential.
Your thoughts on Privas' game tonight? You mentioned him a little bit early on, just overall general thoughts for him.
Good player. I mean, for a freshman, your first official game under the lights, he did well. I mean, I think there were some real positives, and I think there was a couple things he'll learn from. Just, ball strength, ball security, how different ways to finish in traffic and around the basket, which are hard, and our guys will figure out, I mean, do we need to throw him a bunch of, 5 or 6, low bounce passes off baseline drives, which are hard catches, but I think he caught most of them. He's got great hands, so he's got tremendous potential, and I just think as we kind of move forward in this season, the combination of him and Newmar can be really powerful.
Are you the type of coach to say Friday's just another game, or are you saying, look, we're going to Duke?
Listen, it's Arizona versus Duke. I mean, I think that's enough said right there. I think, no matter what happens, I mean, hopefully you have two great teams that are going to have an epic early season battle. I think that'd be great for college basketball. But no matter what happens, I don't think there's going to be any postseason awards given out by what happens the November 10th. So, if you go and play well, it's a great opportunity to really build your resume. If you go and struggle, it's going to be an awesome learning opportunity that I'm sure you're going to be better for it.
With that coming up, that added any urgency tonight, both for you and the guys?
Not really. I mean, I mean, if you're not excited to play in your first game, in front of thousands of fans, I don't know what to tell you. So, I mean, these are, anytime we play in McHale against any opponent, we're going to be excited, and our guys love competing and playing. And I mean, I don't think there was any look ahead or anything like that.
Like a lot different focus than the other night when you're playing that final exhibition.
Yeah, we got to get better. You get better over the course of a season, and and you need learning and teaching opportunities to help the guys realize that. We are also trying to establish the standards we want our program to be known by, and so that was more my focus and the team's focus than anything else.
Do you have to tell Caleb anything about going back and such a big? Are you worried about it because he's an older guy?
I'm not worried about it. I think Caleb's pretty tough and tough-minded. Obviously I know it's gonna probably draw a lot of attention, but he's built for it, and I just know this. I mean, we can go there and play a good basketball game without Caleb playing out of his mind. I mean, Caleb can. That's one of the the gifts I've tried to give him is you don't necessarily need to just blend in here, but you have an opportunity to settle in and let the game come to you a little bit. And I think he'll get more and more comfortable over that. And I mean, every time he's put our uniform on against another team, I think he's played really good, and he's been a great teammate.
Rely on players like him to help, not maybe informally help with the scout, or at least talk to the guys about what it's like to go to a place like that?
I'm sure those guys will have those conversations on their own, but I don't really put a bunch of pressure on them to get up and present the scouting report. I mean, that's why we have a lot of guys in our coaching staff. So that's their job, and he might be able to. But we will always listen to our guys. If they tell us something in a game, or I've played against this guy. I think that's out of respect for our players. We always listen to what they have to say.
When this game came up originally, did you say let's just do it, or did you initiate it? How did this come?
Yeah, I called John when he got the job, and I just thought it would be a great idea for both of us to play a game like this. And scheduling in college basketball is getting harder and harder for whatever reason. So anytime you get an opportunity to get two programs of an Arizona and a Duke stature to meet on the other's court, I think it's pretty cool. So especially in out of conference. So I respect John as a person and as a coach, and I'm thankful that he agreed to do this, and he and I I think share a mutual respect for each other, and we don't talk every day, but we definitely touch base over the course of the season, and we see each other out recruiting and things of that. So, I'm honored that they're giving us this opportunity.
You guys go back a ways as assistants. Like, did you see him on the recruiting trail?
Well, man, he's so much younger than me. I think I was on the bench in a game in Madison Square Garden. I think they beat us pretty good. And then you're as coaches, we're probably around each other a lot more than people realize, on the road, and just gotten to know him over the years doing that. I respect him. I mean, that's what he stepped into is pretty impressive at a young age. And I think he's doing an admirable job, and I think he's going to have a great coaching career.
Did that work out right away, or did he say, "Hey, everyone's calling me, Tommy, I got to think about it"?
I can't, Bruce. I'd have to go through my call logs and let you know. But I think it was pretty seamless. I think we had one or two conversations and kind of handed off to the guys on our staff that handle that scheduling piece, and it was pretty. It was an easy process. I wish they were all like that.
How difficult is it to get a highly ranked team to agree to a home?
Yeah, a lot more difficult than people realize. I know that you always hear that, people and fans of college basketball, saying like, "Oh, we need these." It's hard. It's really hard, and it's become a big business. And you have coaches, protecting their own entity, coaches fighting for their jobs, things like that really complicated. And so, for me, I love opportunities to play other good teams, but we also have to be mindful how we schedule. Yeah, for sure. Do I sit back and think maybe our schedule is really hard this year, and I hope we're up for the challenge, and I hope there's a positive outcome for us at the end of having such a tough schedule. But you're also mindful that you're going to put your team in harm's way a few times, and you're worried about your confidence and your winning spirit. You want to make sure you have that going into conference play. So, we're just going to take it day by day.
Can you confirm that Dylan is going to be redshirting this year?
Yeah, that's been the conversation. As of now, unless something changes, an injury or something dictates that. But what I'll say is Dylan Anderson's a great young man. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. And, it was Dylan's decision. And, I told him, I just said, hey, this could potentially be an option. I want you to consider it. You think about it. And here's, when he and I had some few conversations about it, and TJ really helped as well. And to me, I just remember we had a meeting in my office, and he came in and he sat down, and, he said, "Coach, I don't ever want to leave Arizona." And I said, "Dylan, I don't ever want you to leave either." And so I think we, there's a love for each other and a respect for each other. And, sometimes how these rosters, break out, it's tough when you can only play 5 guys at a time. But Dylan's ready to play. He's made progress. But I think adding this year to the end of his career is going to allow him to become a great player at Arizona. And he's someone that I think this guy has, all conference type potential down the road. And so I'm really proud of him for trusting us, and I'm honored that he's trusting us enough to be patient.
Can you look at someone like Umar and how he used that? And I think you had mentioned at one point that Shemek having to sit out that year benefited both him and the program.
Yeah, listen, redshirting's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, and it really is a good thing, and it's helped so many guys over the course of their career. We had a little team deal yesterday where we were kind of just talking as a group, and Umar mentioned that. Umar said, "Dylan, I'm so proud of you and what you're doing. You're going to be great someday. You just got to hang with it. I've been there. I know how tough it is." So it was pretty special that our players, acknowledge and realize the sacrifice Dylan's making for the program. And I'm going to make sure that we do everything on our end to honor and respect that sacrifice he's making, and make sure he really benefits from it down the road.
I guess going a day early, I think, for this trip. Do you like to go when it's an East Coast game like that? Get out there.
It's just kind of how the schedule broke. I saw an opportunity to get out there a little bit early, and so, I thought we might as well take advantage of that. So it really, I didn't overthink it. I hope it works out.
Was Conrad thought about it all for redshirt, or do you want to get some experience and
Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes international players is a little bit different in how you might handle that, but Conrad's a good basketball player. I mean, he's a really good basketball player. He has helped us so much in practice, and you know, I don't know if people are seeing him out there and really have an understanding and respect for how good of a player he is. But he's a really good basketball player who is going to have a lot of great moments at Arizona, and I have 100% belief I could put him in a tough game, maybe if we're struggling and need a little spark, and he could come in that game and make that play. He's fearless. So I love having him out there, and you know, I just thought, you know what, I don't want to leave this team, you know, one player short, one spark short, and so he and I talked about it, and you know, he's an unbelievable team person, so he had no problem saying, Coach, whatever you want me to do, I'll do whatever I need to do for the program. Thank you, guys.